Rams house, we might have bad news to discuss on today's show. Welcome into a brand new episode of the Rams Report, and welcome into a brand new week as well, guys. Sign up for Prize Picks as well. Play alongside all of us here at Chad Sports. When you use code HMA to play your first $5 lineup, you're going to get an extra $50 in lineup. Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. But let's get back to the topic at hand. So bad news on today's show, my friends. We don't like to talk bad news, but whenever it does come up, we're going to cover it just like we cover all of the news around the Rams here. And the topic at hand, my friends, is a monster extension. And when I say monster, I'm not exaggerating at all. This is an enormous, enormous bag for one Jeffery Simmons, alternatively called. I honestly don't know which one he prefers. Has agreed to a 3-year, $105.8 million extension with, and this is the real eye-popping thing. Not that $105 million total isn't already eye-popping. $100 million of that is guaranteed. Fully guaranteed at signing. A lot of records being broken as far as defensive tackle contracts. And not surprisingly, he is now the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. Congratulations to Jeffery Simmons on that. But, I mean, crushing the bar, by the way, as well. 31.75 was the prior high held by Chris Jones, which honestly, on that front, nobody had really approached that one either. Dexter Lawrence at third was $28 million, previously second. But now Jeffery Simmons crosses Dexter Lawrence by over $7.3 million and leaps Chris Jones by over $2 million as well. So a huge jump in the bar, over $3 million, excuse me. So a huge jump in the bar for defensive linemen. But again, more significant maybe than the new average, getting up to 35.3, because again, the cap goes up every year. So averages are averages. You have a lot of money that's going to be more flexible over the next couple of seasons. But this monster number right here, $100 million, 95% of this contract fully guaranteed at signing. And again, he deserves it. Jeff Simmons absolutely deserves it. He's been a fantastic defensive tackle for the Titans, especially last season. He was an unbelievable force for that team in both run defense and pass rush. Again, one of the only bright spots on a team that has been pretty woeful to watch over the last couple of seasons, especially last season in 2025 and 2024. This team has just been a disaster. Does seem like they maybe have a little bit of hope with Cam Ward there, but they reward Jeffery Simmons for his loyalty, for his role as the face of the franchise. But in doing so, they send us some bad news. Finally connecting this back to the Rams. For those of you wondering, why have we just spent the first 3 minutes of today's show discussing news related to the Tennessee Titans when this is the Rams Report by Chad Sports, not Titans Today by Chad Sports? Well, because this news does connect to the Rams, my friends. It connects deeply to Kobie Turner, who still needs an extension from this team at some point in the future if they want to keep him around, at some point before the end of the 2026 season and before this guy hits free agency. And unfortunately, he just got a lot, and when I say a lot, I really mean a lot more expensive. And if you don't agree, if you don't think that this deal has a massive impact on him, I'm going to show you guys on today's show exactly how good Kobie Turner is and exactly how similar in production these two guys have been over the last couple of seasons. That is coming up for you on today's episode. But before we get to it, I've got to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And guys, it's the good people over at Prize Picks. Guys, if you are a regular viewer of the Rams Report, you know I love Prize Picks. And you know I've been really getting into watching this World Cup action as well, guys. Prize Picks on the World Cup makes those games even more fun. You get a lineup going, just pick from 2 to 6 players, and you can select more or less on their stat projections, whether you're picking from goals, assists, shots on target. They've got it all around the World Cup, which you could definitely get in on. But if soccer's not your thing, and yes, it is still soccer with the U.S. still alive, they have absolutely got a bunch of other sports for you as well, including professional football. Guys, you can get in on those season-long projections. You can tail my latest lineup with the social features as well. Just follow my username, Jackson Durham, and you'll see this one pop up in your For You or social feeds tab, and you will be able to tail this one. I'm going with the less on Fernando Mendoza, the less on Jeremiah Love, and the more on Jordan Tyson. So again, you guys can tail or fade. Whatever you do, just do it with Prize Picks. And if you're brand new to Prize Picks, make sure you use our promo code when you download the Prize Picks app today and use code HMA. When you play your first $5 lineup, you're going to get an extra $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with Prize Picks. The clickable link to download the app is in the comments and the description below. Again, let's get back to this discussion around Kobie Turner, because I know there's some of you guys out there right now, even Rams fans out there right now, that do not view Kobie Turner and Jeff Simmons in the same tier of player, that do not view Kobie Turner and Jeff Simmons as the same caliber of impact maker. And I understand that just from the brand name that Simmons has. But what you've got to understand is Kobie Turner, the production doesn't lie at the end of the day. PR can lie to you. Brand or size of people's brands and size of people's, recognition can lie to you as well. But the numbers don't. And Kobie Turner and Jeff Simmons, if you stack up the numbers over the last couple of seasons, Kobie is just as good, if not better, at getting after the quarterback. At the end of the day, Kobie's been unbelievably effective over the last couple of seasons for this Rams team. A huge part of why the loss of Aaron Donald has not been a cataclysmic one for this Rams defense. Because you slide Kobie Turner in there, who learned from Aaron in his rookie season, and he immediately becomes, and was already becoming in his rookie season, an incredibly effective piece of this team. At the end of the day, and those pressure numbers are actually wrong on that stat. I need to get that one updated because it was not 24. It was 51 pressures this season, guys. He had up 51 pressures. Switch over to this career one, which does have the accurate numbers. Every season, this guy has over 50 pressures, over 7 sacks every year, and he is no slouch in run defense either. I would give the edge to Jeff Simmons as a run defender. I'm not going to lie. Even as biased as I am towards Kobie Turner as a player, towards the Rams, Jeff Simmons is one of the best run defenders in the NFL, and Kobie Turner is more of a pass rush specialist, but he's no slouch in run defense either. He offers so much value to this team, and I do think that they need to keep him around. I absolutely think they need to keep him around. But this is great news if you're Kobie Turner. Jeff Simmons getting a bag like this, you're sitting there going, I'm kind of happy I haven't put pen to paper yet with the Rams. I'm kind of happy that they haven't gotten around to signing me yet, because that deal, that is great news if you have the kind of production that he has at the position that he plays. And guys, he knows it. He was just telling media recently, it's a pretty great time to be him. Here's what he had to say. It's an interesting thing to juggle, but for me, at the end of the day, I feel like what a great opportunity I have. If we have the talks and the Rams want to extend me, that's a great opportunity to set up my family right now and to be able to accomplish a lot of the goals that I've had and to be rewarded for the work that I've done. If the Rams don't want to extend me just yet, with Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Myles Garrett, and the rest of this defense has really gelled together over the course of 3 years, you can't ask for a better situation. You really can't if you're Kobie Turner. At the end of the day, guys, you really cannot ask for a better year to come into a contract year for him. If I'm the Rams, I'm trying to get pen to paper on Kobie Turner as quickly as humanly possible. As quickly as humanly possible. Because you've already waited long enough and let Jeff Simmons get paid. You've now allowed the price to shoot up. You've done the same thing that happened with Puka, with JSN. At the end of the day, waiting allowed other teams to drive the price up once again for this Rams team on a key player that they need to retain and that they will retain at the end of the day, just now for a more expensive price. And speaking of that price, I'm going to tell you what I think it is for this Rams team in just 1 second here. We're going to get to my new contract prediction for Kobie Turner. But before we do that, I got to give a shout out to SeatGeek, guys, the other sponsor of today's video. Guys, my favorite thing to do during these summer months is go out to a live event, whether I'm going to a sporting event, whether I'm going to a concert. I love to get out there and see something live, but it costs an arm and a leg until I found SeatGeek. Guys, SeatGeek makes it so easy to shop for tickets, whether I'm looking for Rams tickets, which are also available on SeatGeek, whether I'm looking for World Cup tickets as well. They've got everything that I could possibly want to go out and see, and they make the ticket buying experience as easy as it's ever been. Guys, every single ticket on SeatGeek is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal or not. They also color code things, so if you're really not in the numbers, like I'm not into numbers, you could just look at the colors, guys. Green dots are good, red dots are bad. And the other thing that you can look at is your view from your seat. Every seat in the stadium has a custom seat view that lets you know exactly what it's going to be like. Make sure there's not a pole in your way before you get in there. And of course, guys, the one number you do want to look at is the price, and I have a code to make it even better. You can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app or have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring today's video. Here are our projected details for a Kobie Turner contract, my friends. 4 years, $132 million. $32 million average with a guarantee of $100 million. It's a pretty penny for Kobie Turner. And he is worth it, but man, it's a gargantuan amount of money, and you're going to have to guarantee a ton of it. And this is an uptick. For those of you guys who have been watching the show for a little while, I'd previously projected Kobie as a $26 to $28 million per year player. So we are seeing a jump of $6 million on the conservative end of things to $4 million on the aggressive end of things to his new average value at 32. And I will say, this is kind of a conservative estimate from me at $32 million. Could be 33, could be 34. I really don't think he's going to reset the market here. I think at the end of the day, if you go back to the short history of recent contract resets as far as this market goes, especially ones that look like this, where the team goes out and just drives the bar way, way, way over the top, like the Chiefs did with Chris Jones. And what's worth remembering, when the Chiefs did this with Chris Jones, the deal that currently ranks second, deals 3, 4, tied for 4, and 6, as well as number 1, had all not been done. The other prior high for defensive tackles was at $24 million at the time that the Kansas City Chiefs agreed to pay Chris Jones a whopping near $32 million. And again, this deal moved the market. You could see that from the other defensive tackles who got paid in that $26, $28 million range, but nobody topped it for a number of years. This deal was put pen to paper on in 2024, if I remember correctly, or 2023. And now, finally, someone has topped it and really blown it out of the water once again with a new enormous contract for Jeffery Simmons. I'm kind of predicting the same reaction from the market on the Jeff Simmons deal. I don't think anyone's going to immediately go out and say, you know what? We're going to pay our next defensive tackle now $36 million and just keep pushing the bar like we've seen with the receiver market over the last couple of years or the quarterback market over the last couple of years. I think this will be one where the next defensive tackles to get paid, your Kobie Turners, slot in between Dexter Lawrence and Chris Jones as the new second highest paid defensive tackle, or maybe even right there with Dexter Lawrence, a little bit lower. But again, I really don't think the Rams are going to be able to cut themselves that big of a discount at this point with Jeff Simmons' contract on the books. It's going to be really hard to call yourself a good agent for Kobie Turner and not get that guy at least $30 million a year, with the market being where it stands now. If Jeff Simmons can get 35, Kobie Turner and his agent have to at least have their eyes set on the $30 million mark. And with that being the case, it brings us back to another discussion and another 2023 draft pick, Byron Young, who feels more on the outs with this team than maybe ever before. And I hate to say it because I like Agent Zero. You guys know I like Agent Zero. He's been a productive part of this team. I think he is also set for a great year. Because, again, that's the other thing with Kobie Turner. Like, these guys are going to go off this season with Myles Garrett on the roster. You want to pay him now if you're going to pay him at all, because the price is not going down, my friends. The price is not going down on either of these guys. And it's just hard to see as you look down this list of names that need extensions, which, of course, is topped by the number one guy who will absolutely get his money and very soon be the highest paid receiver in the NFL, Puka Nacua. But once you've paid him, once you've paid Kobie and his new money, needing $31 to $33 million, can you afford Byron Young and also keep together some of your offensive line? Coleman Shelton's not even on this list. We could have him on this list as well, like a $6 million extension, $6 to $8 million extension for that guy. You've got a lot of decisions to make, and it does feel like the Byron Young one might be kind of getting made for you. With the decision to trade for Myles Garrett, with the decision to invest at the other side of the edge in the enormous way that you did, with the fact that you've drafted Josiah Stewart, and he showed some flashes in his first season and projects for growth in year two alongside Myles Garrett as well. And now with the fact that if you want to keep Kobie Turner, who's been an anchor point for the interior of this defensive line over the last couple of seasons, an incredibly valuable member of this team, both on the field and off, you now know what his price tag is. You just can't keep everybody. At the end of the day, decisions are going to get made. One of these two guys is not going to be on the team, and I truly think it is probably going to be Byron Young in 2027. But let me know, guys, if you were making the call, who would you keep? Would you keep Kobie Turner? Drop a like on today's video if you haven't already. Would you keep Byron Young? Let me know in the comment section below and explain why you would keep Byron Young. Let me know why you would make that call. Don't just tell me that you would keep Byron Young. Give me an explanation for it. I always want to hear what you guys are thinking, and I'll be responding in the comments below as always. If you want to drop a Rams hot take for me in there as well, we're going to be reacting to those on the tail end of tomorrow's video. So we will see you guys then. As always, stay cool. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Rams.